right, happy Sunday, everyone. For those of you who still have a concept of what day it is, I know personally I have to look at my phone every day or my Fitbit to remind me what day of the week it is. Today I'm going to do just a basic core workout. We've got 6 exercises. I'm going to do 3 rounds of each and then we'll work through. So what I like to do, even with my clients who can do some pretty advanced stuff, these are really good basic exercises to check in with every once in a while, and you can add variations to them if you want. So I hear people complaining often about how planks make their back hurts. Often that can be a result of either bad form in your plank or your foundation just isn't strong enough. So the key to just being healthy and injury-free, especially in your back, is to have a good solid core, which means your shoulders to your hips. So these are good exercises to go back to and just check in with every once in a while, and I'll offer progressions and let's see how it goes. So I'm going to start with a little loop band. If you don't have one, that's okay. We're going to start with bridging. So I'm going to put that around just above my knees, so it's not on the knee joints themselves. All right, come on back down. I want your feet kind of close to your bottom. Feet are shoulder width. All right, now I want you to pull your low back into the floor. So you're going to tilt your pelvis a little bit so that your low back is pulling into the floor, and then kind of collapse your ribs into it, right? Neck and shoulders are going to be relaxed. Now, I want you to start by rounding that tailbone up, and then imagine bridging up one vertebrae at a time, keeping this low into the floor. So now I'm going to hold it up here, weight evenly distributed through my feet, right? So when I do that, there's a tendency sometimes to put your weight to the outside of your feet. You'll feel it here, but when you shift that weight so that your weight is in all your toes and all your feet evenly distributed, keeping this down, right here, now I'm feeling my inner thighs work, I'm feeling my glutes work, I'm feeling my quads, everything is fired up. So for some people, just holding this is a lot of work. So if you have this band on, you might add some pulses out to the side. I'll do about 20 here. Otherwise, we're just gonna kind of hang out here for about 30 seconds. You might be starting to feel a little bit of a burn. If you're not, that's okay. All right, so now go ahead and roll it back on down. We're gonna do this 2 more times. I'm gonna take this off just to show you some variations. So relax for a second. I'm gonna shake it off, make sure your neck and shoulders are relaxed. All right, again, relax the neck and shoulders, tilt the pelvis a little bit, pull that low back into the floor, kind of collapse your ribs here, roll up one little vertebrae at a time. All right, make sure your feet are evenly distributed with that weight. Now, if this is really simple for you, maybe move your feet around a little bit, see where it might be more challenging, or your next step, you might want to put one foot up in the air. And from here, if you want, you can add pulses. So let's just do like 10 on each side. Now again, if just holding that bridge is enough for you today, that's great. I want you to stay there. So I'll do about 10 on each side. Switch. Make sure everything is really engaged again. Leg up in the air and just pulsing up and down. Notice that my hips aren't coming all the way to the floor here. I'm really pressing up through my entire foot and feeling that more in the back of my legs. All right, that's about 10. So I'm gonna roll it down and relax for a second. We'll do 1 more round. Okay, all right, set your feet shoulder width. Whether you have the band on or not, that's okay. Neck and shoulders relaxed. Pull that low back into the floor, collapse your ribs, and we roll up. Now I can feel everything engaged right here without a band, without anything. My hamstrings, my glutes, my inner thighs, my quads, everything feels like it's really working. Check in, make sure your feet are staying flat and you're pressing down through your entire foot. About 10 more seconds. Good, and then roll it on down. All right, next exercise, we are gonna do a dead bug. So again, this is a really good exercise to check in with, and there's a few different levels that you can do. So we're gonna come back to our back. I want you to bring your hands straight up. I have my palms facing each other. Shoulder blades pulling into the floor. I'm gonna pull my low back into the floor, bring my legs up straight. Now I'm gonna flex my feet, lock out my knees, and toe in. So again, shoulder blades pulling into the floor, low back pulling into the floor, knees locked out, feet flexed, and toeing in. So when I say toeing in, we're kind of doing that. All right, now this might be enough for you because you're pulling your entire body into that floor. So some people shake just right here. If you want to try another level, try opening up your right arm and your right leg without letting your low back arch up off the floor at all. Now, and if you feel a strain, you may not want to do this yet. Just hold that position right here for about 30 seconds. All right, now try the left arm and the left leg. Bring it back in. If that's somewhat challenging, but you feel like it's doable without back strain, that's a good place to be. Okay. So we'll just do a few of those. On the next round, I'll show you another progression. Inhale, exhale, closed. Inhale, exhale, closed. So you're gonna do about 10 on each leg and then relax for a second. So you should feel everything really working through that entire core. Okay, round 2. If you need another second, pause it. Come back when you're ready. Otherwise, we're gonna get right back into it. So arms up, shoulder blades pulling into the floor. My low back is pulling into the floor. Knees come up. Flex the feet, lock out the knees, toe in, everything's pulling down. All right, so go ahead and either hold this or do the same side. If you want to try something else, we're going to do a little brain training too. So I want you to open up your right hand and your left leg. Inhale, open, exhale, close. Now, your left hand and your right leg. So we're doing opposite hand to foot. And that low back constantly pulling down. Your shoulder blades are pulling down. Okay, that might be a good thing for you to do about 10 each way of those. Another option, if this still just isn't quite enough for you, is to do everything all together, okay? And then exhale, closed. Again, if you feel any strain in your low back or your back is arching, you need to dial it back just a little bit. Practice it for a day or two, maybe even a week, and then progress when you're ready. So we're gonna go 10 of these. Inhale, exhale, close. Breathing is so important. And I'm not really counting today. I've told you before I'm not the best counter, so I'm gonna call that about 10, and then we've got one more round. So relax for a second, shake it off if you need to, get a sip of water if you need it. Okay, round 3. Ready? Here we go. Shoulders, low back, knees locked out, feet flexed, toe in, and you choose which level. Stay right here for 30 seconds or open up, whichever level you feel you can do. Exhale, closed. Inhale and exhale. How you doing? Let's do 2 more. Beautiful. All right, what's next? Bird dog, quadruped. Same thing. I want your hands right under your shoulders and your knees right under your hips. Nice flat back. Okay, long spine. I want you to imagine that somebody's pulling you from the top of the head, so it really lengthens that spine. First level, you're just gonna raise one hand and put it down. Raise the other hand and put it down. And what we're trying to achieve here is keeping that back nice and flat. So when you extend a leg, you're gonna extend it straight out with letting your hips tip. Imagine that you've got a tray on there with a bunch of drinks on it and you don't want it to spill. And other side. Okay, now if that's challenging, I want you to just go around arm, arm, leg, leg. If you feel like you are ready for the next level, I want you to extend your opposite hand and leg. Again, come out really slow, keeping that back as flat as possible. Extend and back in. Nice and slow. Really focusing. All right, that's probably good for the first round. Next round, I'm gonna add just another challenge for you to make it a little more complicated. And then on the third round, I'll add another level that I can't even do, but I've seen people do it. I mean, I can do it, but not very gracefully. Okay, set your shoulders, come back in. Now, this time, when you come out with the leg, I want you to think about squeezing that glute and having that fire before you feel your leg working. So I'm gonna make sure that my core turns on, my glute is squeezing, and then I'm gonna extend and really squeeze those glutes. Bring it back in, core, glute, extend. Right, and I'm staying up top just long enough to really squeeze into the glutes. Stabilizing through the hips as much as possible. And squeeze. Really pay attention to what your hips are doing. Are they moving when you come out of there? Or are they staying nice and flat so as not to spill that tray of drinks? Let's do one more each side. All right, relax for a second. Okay, this next round, go ahead and keep doing just one limb at a time, or do about 5 each way. If you want to try another level, there's one where you can lift the same arm and same leg. So now I can do this, but you'll notice that my hips have to open to stay there. So, whew, it's kind of fun to try it. And of course you're gonna have to shift a little bit. It just would be physically impossible not to, but play with it if you want to. Right, these days we need all the excitement we can get. So if you're doing opposite arm and leg, 5 each, so you've probably got just a couple more. And making sure you're getting those glutes squeezing before your leg comes out. You want the action to come from that squeeze. All right, relax. Next up, we have the plank. Okay, it is fun sometimes to see how long you can hold a plank. That's a big milestone for some people, being able to hold it 30 seconds, a minute, 3 minutes. Some person just held a world record and it was some insane amount of time. But when you're exercising on a daily basis, what you'll find is after about 15 or 20 seconds, accessory muscles start taking over and you're not feeling it here so much anymore. You're starting to feel it in other body parts. So let's go through this. Before you get down into your plank and before you do anything when you're exercising, make sure those shoulders are back and down and engaged. So you're gonna come to your stomach and you can either do this here on your knees or on your toes, okay? You decide, knees or toes. So if you're doing it on your toes, I want your toes curled under down there, all right? If you're on your knees, come here. However you are, keep those shoulders engaged, keep your elbows right under your shoulders. I want you to put your feet together, whether you're here or here, okay? Squeeze those heels together, squeeze your inner thighs together, squeeze your glutes. Now what you're gonna do is pull your navel into your spine and let that raise you up. Now notice that my hips are a little higher than my body. So right here, I am engaging everything, my shoulders, my glutes, my inner thighs, and my tummy is pulling nice and tight. I've got a nice long spine all the way through to the top of my head, okay? If I am here, I'm gonna feel that in my low back. There's a misconception that your hips need to be in a straight line. I feel it all in my low back here. Raise it up here. Now I feel it in the front and I feel completely supported. So we're gonna hold this for about 30 seconds. I'm guessing we're gonna get pretty close. All right, relax. So notice when you're squeezing your heels together and your inner thighs and you're squeezing your glutes, you're working so much more than just that plank. So it's a great way to really kick it up and making sure you're getting more bang for your buck. So we're gonna do that again, and then if that's still not challenging for you on the third round, I'll show you an option to make it a little more exciting and a little more challenging. But going back to this basic plank every once in a while and just checking in and seeing how it feels is really a good idea for making sure that you're strong overall. And anytime if you're doing a plank, if you do feel that in your low back, first check to see that your hips are high enough. And if they are and it still hurts, you may need to take it down to your knees or go back to that dead bug that we were doing on our back. That's a really good basic one to rebuild some of those muscles. All right, second round. Here we go, knees or toes. And also, some people complain that their shoulders hurt. So if your arms are out here or they're here or your shoulders are doing this, not nice and tight, that can cause some problems and cause the shoulders to hurt. So we're gonna engage our shoulders first, heels together. All right, inner thighs squeezing, glutes are squeezing, I'm pulling my navel into my spine, and up I go. And I'm gonna hold it here for about 30 seconds. Really think about that spine being lengthened. Keep breathing. Now, if you can only hold it for 5 or 10 seconds, that's okay. I want you to drop down and go right back up. So I feel strong enough in my core that I can hold it focused that whole time. If not, this is what I'm doing. I'm going down and I'm going back up. Give me about 10 more seconds. Squeeze those inner thighs together. Glutes are squeezing, tummy's tight. And relax. Okay, third round. I'm gonna show you a variation of plank. It's called a walking plank. I love this one, it's really hard. If you're still working on the other levels, go ahead and do that on the third round. If you want a little bit more, we'll do the walking plank together. All right, I'm gonna do about 5 on each arm. So we're gonna go right, left, right, left, left, right. A little more brain training too. So now with this walking plank, I am gonna have a wide stance in my feet. So it's gonna be a little bit different because it's like that bird dog. You don't want your hips rotating a bunch. Okay, so in plank position, if you're gonna do just a plank on your knees or toes, I want you right here. Otherwise, join me. We're gonna start our hands. All right, ready? Here we go. You're gonna come down right elbow, up right, up left. Now we're gonna switch. We're gonna go left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left. Now I am still pulling my navel into my spine and I'm really doing my best to keep those hips from rotating. They might a little bit, but hold them steady as much as possible. One more time each way. Left, right, right. Good. So you can do, I usually have people do 10 or 12 each way, but whatever feels comfortable to you, right? You gotta start somewhere. So next we're gonna do a side plank. Same concept as far as keeping that shoulder right above the elbow. So I'm gonna come to my side, again, setting my shoulders first on that elbow. Level 1, your bottom leg is bent and you're gonna come right here. Now make sure that your hips are stacked, that you're not opening, falling back here or too far forward. Really keep those hips stacked. Okay, there's level 1. Level 2, you're gonna be right here. All right, so join me, whichever one feels more comfortable to you. And we're just gonna do about 20 seconds on each side, 3 rounds. You can work up to 30 as well. All right, relax down. So kind of assess how that felt. You know, are you feeling yourself supported here? You know, is this challenging enough? Is this easy for you without letting those hips drop? All right, so let's take it to another level. All right, if you need to, but you can stay where you were. So come back into position. Option, you can do little tucks down and up, or little hip dips. So let's do about 10 hip dips. If you want to do tucks, you can do about 10 tucks. And relax. So again, the key is just to be able to keep those hips up, hoisted, so you're really feeling it. Okay, ooh, you can't see it, but behind me, I'm right out on Delta Pond and the cherry blossoms are flying all over the place and it's starting to rain. It's beautiful, but I do miss that sunshine. I think we all need a little sunshine while we're trapped inside. All right, so let's go back into that side plank, and I think I'll do tucks this time, so I'll do 10. I'm following my fingertips with my eyes, and I'm making sure that my hips aren't coming down, letting my spine rotate a little bit. And you can just hold the plank. You don't have to move, you don't have to dip, you don't have to tuck. Couple more, and we'll go to the other side. All right, whew. Balance starts coming into that as well. Okay, here we go. Other side. Set your shoulders. Elbow right under the shoulder. Level 1. Ready? Let's go up. Okay, my hips are stacked. Level 1. Just hold it as long as you can. Maybe 5-10 seconds is all you can hold it when you first start, and that's really normal. All right. So I can really feel it here because I'm not dropping down here. When I drop down here, I feel it more here. I want to feel it over there. Okay, give me about 10 more seconds. All right, relax. I'm gonna grab a sip of water. All right, next round, we're doing dips. Reset, and like I said, or if I didn't say, you can do dips and tucks with this bottom knee bent too. So you decide where you want to be. All right, here we go. Let's do about 10 dips, down and up. And I'm keeping that shoulder blade engaged so I'm not collapsing in anywhere. Couple more. How about one more? All right, good job. Woo. Starting to warm up a little bit. We've got one more round, and then we have one more move to do, and you will be done with your basic core workout, unless you have a stability ball and you want to kick it up a little bit. I think I'm going to do one kind of wild round. I did it on the first video I made, I think. Little toe taps and curls on a stability ball. But if you don't have one, that's okay. If you've really been giving this your all, you're probably getting tired in your core already anyway. Okay, here we go. Set your shoulder, up we go, hips are stacked, and I'm gonna, oh, also, if you're feeling wobbly, but you feel like you can be on your feet, you can stagger them like that. They don't have to be stacked like me. Okay, here we go. Tucks, down and up. And exhale, inhale, exhale. Let's do about 4 more. Two, and 1. Good. Okay, now you are only as strong as your weakest link. So now I want to roll you over onto your stomachs, and work those low back muscles a little bit. So this is called a butterfly. Some people like to do it holding like 1 or 2 pound weights, but most people without any weight at all, it's challenging enough. So what you're gonna do is start by your hands, palms up, are gonna reach for your feet. My toes are on the floor. I'm gonna lift my chest up. So I'm squeezing into my glutes, but I'm feeling all those little muscles around my spine working to lift me up. My nose is pointing towards the floor. Really reaching for your feet. Now, if you have shoulder issues, you may stay here. If you wanna join me, I'm going to inhale up and exhale down. Inhale up, trying to keep the chest lifted. Inhale one way, exhale the other way, just nice and controlled. My palms are facing the floor. We're gonna go for about 10, so I think we've got about 4 more. Give me 1 more. And relax. Going back into child's pose. Feels pretty good right here. Lengthen the spine. So one key too while I'm doing this, even when I'm bringing my arms overhead, I'm really trying to keep those shoulders pulling back and down. All right, so that's gonna keep from straining your shoulders. But again, if it's hurting your shoulders, just stay in that extension, in that I position. All right, here we go, round 2. Okay, toes on the floor. Reach for your feet, lift your chest, squeeze your glutes, and point your nose to the floor, away we go. Inhale and exhale. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 more. 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, child's pose if you want it. All right, we've got 1 more round, and then you can be done, or you can join me with your stability ball. And actually, you can do it without a stability ball too. I'm procrastinating. Let's get this over with. Okay, I'm gonna give myself a quick shoulder roll. Make sure my neck and shoulders are relaxed. And back into position for the last time. Here we go. Toes on the floor. Reach, and away we go. 10. 8. So again, if you're starting to feel tension there, just hold it right here. Really reaching for your feet. About 5 more. 2, and 1. Okay, now, if you're wanting to join me and you have a stability ball, great, grab that ball. I think I might need to move my camera up. If not, thanks for joining me. Hopefully I'll see you again soon. All right, I'm gonna adjust this up a little bit. And I know I've been teased about my lack of good camera stuff, but that's okay. You ready? So what you're gonna do is come on top of this ball. Okay, my toes are on the ball, my shoulders are set, and I'm gonna tap down 10 times each way. So, and 1, and 2, having to keep my core really tight. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, woo, and 10. All right, now I'm gonna get right on this ball for a curl. So come down with the ball. See if you can see me, there we go. Okay, it's right in the middle of my back so I can get a little back extension here. And I'm gonna exhale up 10. My hands are just supporting my head and I'm Exhaling as I curl up. 5 more. We're gonna do 3 rounds of these. 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right. And then right back to those toe taps. All right. Feet on the ball. And we go. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, back to the curl. Whew. Here we go. And exhale. Back extension, just past neutral. Last 3. One more round, guys. You're almost there. Whew. Okay, feet on, and away we go. 10, 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more curl. Bring it in. Come on. Whew. 9, 8, 7, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You did it. Excellent work. High five. You just did a half an hour core. Good job. Talk to you soon.